I love the fact that we have this tribe. This
Mhm.
tribe, this group of soul-centered entrepreneurs is just amazing. And you don't find that out in the corporate world. Certainly not in in mass like we have.
Right.
And just knowing that there are like-minded people that I could call up any one of these people, have a Zoom meeting with them, have a coffee with them now that we're allowed to get out in public, get together and just collaborate or just have a conversation about things that if you had that same conversation with somebody out in the corporate world, they would probably look at you like you had two heads. So it just this collection of amazing humans.
Hi and welcome. I'm Catherine Gagnon, Executive Director at the Natural Life Business Partnership, and welcome to our Connected Conversations, where each week, as you know, we feature various members of NLPP. I'm thrilled for member Karen Sammer to join us today. Karen is a breast cancer survivor and a spontaneous coronary artery dissection heart attack survivor. Please, amazing. Karen retired from her corporate job as director of tax audits and now makes her living as a certified health and nutrition coach.
So I am currently a nutrition and health coach, but I didn't start out that way. I started out in a corporate job that I retired from 3 years ago. I was a director of federal audits in a very large company. So in the tax department of a very large company. But in 2009, I wasn't living a very good lifestyle. I was highly stressed. I was very overweight. I drank too much. I ate too much. I didn't get good sleep. I was had a lot of stress at work. I was raising 2 teenagers, and running a household, so all of the stress that goes along with that. And I went for my annual mammogram, and I got bad news. I found out that I had developed a very aggressive form of breast cancer. And so I had to endure a year of treatment that included surgery, chemo, and radiation. And I felt pretty lousy in that, physically lousy while going through that. But also, just a side note, I lost my mother when I was 16, and I did not want that to be my kid's story. So it was important to me to be here so that I can torture them for a very long time. Because, that's our job, right? They think that's our job anyway. So then, so I went through the year of treatment, and I decided that this was not the way. I didn't want this to happen again. I didn't want to have to go through this again. I didn't want to have to feel this way again. And I started to do some research to see what I could do to minimize my risk of developing breast cancer again, or having a recurrence.
Right.
So what I found out is that sugar feeds cancer, and processed sugar is something that cancer cells really love. So I decided to eliminate that from my diet, and that changed my life. And so I ended up dropping a lot of weight. I told you I was significantly overweight. I was the size of 2 full-sized humans. And so I ended up losing 135 pounds, and really, following a set of steps that I kind of developed myself, and now I use as the program that I support my clients with. Wow. But what it did was it set me up for it. When I removed the sugar from my diet, that was a game changer. That got rid of cravings. That got rid of aches and pains. I didn't get that hangry feeling. So when I got hungry, I wasn't like,
don't need to laugh.
Eat the house. Yeah. So it did a whole lot of really good things for me. And then I systematically eliminated other things from my diet, but it was done in increments. But I lost 135 pounds, and I decided that I wanted to help other people do the same thing. So I decided to go to school for health coaching, and then later on, I furthered my education in the nutrition area. So I became a certified nutritional consultant as well. So now I'm a certified health coach and nutritional consultant. And then you fast forward to 2017, and I had a heart attack from a spontaneous coronary artery dissection, which means that one of the arteries in my heart split, caused a blockage, which caused the heart attack. Okay. But what they found is my arteries are clear. I was a 50-something-year-old woman when I had this, and my arteries were not of somebody my age, because I'd been living in this healthy lifestyle for quite a while.
Right.
And so my cardiologist thought, long story short, my cardiologist thought that I should be trained to become a women heart champion. So she sent me to the Mayo Clinic to become a women heart champion. And I chose the path to become a community educator. So I get to go out, I get to go out into the community and I talk about women and our unique challenges around heart health.
Because
And
you don't think of a woman having a heart health issue. Am I right? Is that
absolutely right? And many people do not think that heart disease attaches to women, and that is true. That is very much not true. Women, and we are protected somewhat by our estrogen in our youth, but as we get older, our estrogen diminishes, and so we no longer have that protection, and then we end up with the same risk profile as a man.
okay? Wow.
Postmenopausal, but even prior to that, we undergo stress. There has been an increase in heart disease in women over the past generation, I would say, because women have gone back into the workforce, but we still have a full-time job at home many times.
Right. Yes.
Moms or wives or whatever, we have a full-time job at home, and so there is a lot more stress on us that may not have been there before. So now. There's a statistic that says that women who have a stressful job are 40% more likely to develop heart disease than those that don't.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there are so many startling statistics that I talk about because we don't think about women with respect.
No, I really don't, to be honest. And even, as a child, you're always educated about a male having, and again, to your point, there has been major shifts in women going back to work and factors that would just make sense now that you're sharing this, but I think it is so important that you're out in the community educating. So
yeah, this is information that we really need people to hear, because we also don't have the same symptoms that men do sometimes. So that when we have a cardiac event, we may not even recognize it as such. It may feel like it's indigestion, or maybe extreme fatigue, or you may have a pain in your neck. So I had two SCADs, two artery dissections. The first one felt like burning in my chest. Now, I never lost consciousness. I never became short of breath. I didn't break out into profuse sweating. None of the symptoms that you see on, the movies.
Right.
I didn't keel over clutching my chest. It was just this weird burning sensation in my chest. The second time I had it, it was an excruciating pain in my neck. And what I thought, I didn't know what was going on. I went to the emergency room. They didn't even diagnose it, because SCAD is something that is often missed by
what is SCAD? What is it? So tell me again what it stands for, just so.
Spontaneous coronary artery dissection.
Okay.
Happens almost always to women. There are some men who have it, but it happens primarily to women, often to younger women. And so if a young woman shows up in the ER having cardiac symptoms, they may be sent home with a prescription for Xanax or something, because they're having, supposedly having a panic attack or anxiety attack.
Right.
They're actually having a cardiac event, because it may not show up on the test right away. It may not show up in your when they check your enzyme level, your troponin level. It may not elevate right away. So and it may not show up on an EKG also. So
wow.
If you are having an event and you don't recognize it as such, the medical people are assuming that you're too young or too fit looking or whatever to be having a cardiac event. You could be sent home to die. So it's really important. This information is so important. So that's why I'm very passionate about sharing it. And
I do, I think, and I have some ideas, which I'll talk to you offline. I've actually jotted some notes for ways to continue the education conversation, if you will.
Absolutely.
But with that being said, and as we talk about, you survived 2 cancer, heart attack, but now you also have to survive as an entrepreneur.
That may be the hardest job yet, right?
So you joined, which 6 years ago, almost to the date. So congratulations and thank you for your support of being a member of the NLPP, which I just, joined in April, coming on as their executive director. But through your 6 years, what are some of the benefits, or what is one of the top benefits that you have actually tapped into that has really helped your career, guide you, support you, whatever it may be? But I'd love to hear, what is that benefit that has actually helped you, that you've acted? There's so many, first off, and I know different members dip into different components, but what's the one benefit that you have really found so beneficial to your growth, your business?
So I have, I love the fact that we have this tribe. This
Mhm.
tribe, this group of soul-centered entrepreneurs is just amazing. And you don't find that out in the corporate world. Certainly not in mass like we have.
Right.
And just knowing that there are like-minded people that I could call up any one of these people, have a Zoom meeting with them, have a coffee with them now that we're allowed to get out in public, get together and just collaborate or just have a conversation about things that if you had that same conversation with somebody out in the corporate world, they would probably look at you like you had two heads. So it just this collection of amazing humans,
Okay.
and Camille being one of the most amazing.
She's the founder. She's the visionary.
She absolutely is, and she is so well placed in that position. But just all of it is really just it's an incredible experience. But one of the things that I really benefited from is when Camille first rolled out the I forgot what it's called, but the financial.
Oh, the six-figure soul summit, or the
No, it's not that. It's the other thing where you dig into your own. I'm sorry, I can't even remember the name.
That's okay. And
you know what I'm talking about, though. It's
I do know what you're. Yes, it's available. The finance.
Yes,
it's like
it
a
is
financial.
available. Yes.
Okay, you were one of the folks that got to do it as a trial.
I did. Yes, I was one of the beta testers, and it was just such an eye-opening experience, and really helped me to kind of really get clarity around my own personal financial situation. So I highly recommend it. I know it's available. It's actually available to the public now, I think.
It is. But that's interesting that you say that, because I think we all, as we go through, I mean, if you've gone through school, you've had this job, like you feel like you've got a grasp on that, but to have this almost like it sounds like a refresh, if you will.
Yeah, exactly. And I was an accounting major in
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You should have
an MBA. Yeah, but it just gave you a different way to look at things. It was not about, it's not about the numbers necessarily. I mean, certainly you had to get into the numbers, but it was really about the energy around it. And it's just an incredible experience. I really highly recommend it. So,
I shouldn't say it's funny, but I actually have to go through and do like a statistical, but we have so many members who in a former life were accountants or CPA. I mean, I think it must be half the population.
I didn't realize that.
I know we might be on it. We might be having a tax audit.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing. So as we were kind of saying this, and before we wrap up, I always like to ask the Tribe Talk participants, what are the 3 words that they feel would describe NLPP to them? And it's ironic, we really haven't had a lot of overlap. So I'd love to hear what your 3 words are that you feel describe NLPP.
So I would say inspiration, because I'm always getting inspiration from the people that I meet on this, in our meetings, whatever, if we have a coffee with Camille or if we have what's working, what's not. That's an amazing meeting, by the way.
Right.
So inspiration, I'm always getting ideas and just being inspired by some of the stories that I hear. Collaboration, because I know I can call up any one of these members and bounce something off of them, or even we can work out a collaboration that will benefit both of us. And then also support for the same reason, like you can always go to this group and get somebody to just to be there for you. I mean, it's just they're just such open-hearted people. I love it. There's not been a human being in this group that I have not really connected with. So
wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
That's really impressive. And you're impressive in yourself. So
thank you.
Thank you for inspiring us. And I just want to say, I am thrilled and thankful. You're a member, first off, but we also appreciate the valuable insights at the top that you share, because I really think that intelligence is so important, and that education, that informing not just the members of NLPP, but the entire global community of folks that are out there. So that's why we're doing these, to really help folks understand. So and I told you, I found a quote on your website and you forgot that it was even there. So I'm going to end with this because I really do love it. And it was, by words of Henry Ford. I'm going to share it with everyone. But if you always do what you've always done, you'll always get what you've always got. So everyone, I'm just going to leave it there, but Karen can help you break that cycle. So, which I do love. And, to find out more about Karen, I'm going to just say you can visit her at www.yourpoweryourhealth.com. And I love your website name too, by the way. So, yourpoweryourhealth.com. So I want to just say thank you, Karen, for joining us and sharing these insights.
Thank you, Catherine. I'd also like to offer a free consultation to anybody who's interested.
Okay, fabulous. So should they should they go to your website and they get okay, fabulous. That's amazing.
Yeah, there's a button on my website that will let them do that. And that way we talk about their health challenges. We talk about, what goals they have around those health challenges. And we set up some action steps. So it's really a very powerful conversation.
That's awesome. I love that. So I will. And then, like I said, I'm going to follow back up because I've got 2 ideas for you.
Always open.
All right. Thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Thanks so much, Kat.
Okay. Have a good one.
You too.